Behind every face and every action, there's a name. And the search for those names, well, that's where these stories begin. I'm Fox 4 senior reporter Caitlin Knapp, and I'm on a mission to get to know the names we know and perhaps find the ones we don't. Along with detectives working in the same communities you call home, we're all working to find answers and closure in these sunshine crimes.
2 months ago, I told you about the kidnapping case involving baby Bryan here in Fort Myers. Detectives released a new photo of Bryan 18 years later, and they got some leads, but they tell me that they're still looking for the one tip to help bring Bryan home.
On December 1st, 2006, life changed for the parents of Bryan Dos Santos. He was kidnapped at just barely 2 months old, and the search for him continues to this day.
Someone has that thread to this case that we're looking for.
Fort Myers Police cold case detectives Mike Iarossi and Rich Harasym made this announcement on April 8th, 2025.
If baby Bryan is out there, he may look at that and say, this could be me.
This, as in this age progression photo done by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. So I went back to the detectives, asking if they got any solid tips.
We've had probably 5 leads. I would probably describe them as substantive.
Leads from Florida, Louisiana, Michigan, and Texas.
We did send out DNA for a boy who lives in Louisiana.
In another tip, detectives say a high school teacher reported a student who they believe looks like this photo. Even with those leads, detectives were hoping to get more.
Nothing's really jumped out yet, but you have to press on.
But they still need your help. Here's a little more background for you. Detectives say a woman pulled over in this car and asked for directions to Pine Manor to find her mom. Bryan's mom, Maria, got in the car with Bryan and her friend Janice to help. The suspect made a phone call using Janice's phone.
Cleveland Avenue.
The call, detectives say, was a ruse, and it went to this pole shed at Shore Irrigation, or known as Griffin Industries.
Sí, pero es que ellas dicen que hay otros calles que se llaman así. Entonces solo Pine Minor. Entro ahí en Pine Minor, calle 11.
The woman said she had a baby named Jose Guadalupe. Detectives say a person by that name actually lived next door to the shed. Eventually, the woman dropped off Janice, took Maria at knife point, and eventually dropped her off at this Estero church. The woman left with Bryan.
We haven't come across anything that changes our position that Bryan Dos Santos is still alive.
So detectives will keep working and pushing to get tips from the community so they can bring Bryan home.
Every lead is critical.
Whatever the end result may be, the mother and father deserve closure. Whether we find Bryan a good way or we find Bryan a bad way.
If you have any information about the kidnapping of baby Bryan, you're asked to call the Fort Myers Police Department or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-780-TIPS. Reporting in Fort Myers, Caitlin Knapp, Fox 4.